82-game season, jumping from 14 wins in 2023-24 to 44 wins in 2024-25. It was one of the biggest one-year turnarounds in both franchise and NBA history. A team that had been a league-wide punchline suddenly pushed toward 50 wins and played competitive basketball from October through April. For the first time in more than a decade, there was real hope and excitement in the Motor City. But that hope came with limits. Even after last season's surprise, most people believed Detroit still had a long way to go in 2025-26. Many expected a slight step back, or at best a year of treading water, especially after losing key veterans like Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Dennis Schroeder, all of whom were instrumental to the resurgence. Predictions hovered around 45 wins, barely above last season, with modest, steady progress seen as the most realistic outcome. Then the season actually started, and once again, the Pistons shocked everyone. After just a quarter of the schedule, almost nobody expected Detroit to be the #1 team in the Eastern Conference after 25 games, let alone riding a franchise record 13-game winning streak. A short winning run in November can be a fluke, but 13 straight wins and a 20-5 start is no accident. What makes it even more impressive is how they've done it. 10 different players have spent time on the injury report, and the Pistons have even played games without their franchise star, Cade Cunningham. Yet every time someone went down, someone else stepped up. On top of that, they haven't even shot the ball particularly well, which suggests we still haven't seen the best version of this team. And yet, here they are, 20 wins, 5 losses, sitting atop the Eastern Conference, 2.5 games ahead of the Knicks and 5 games clear of the Celtics. We came into the season expecting growth. What we got instead was a full-blown Eastern Conference contender. The same team that once couldn't finish games now looks calm, confident, and comfortable in clutch time.
Mr. Fourth Quarter.
Cunningham, they got him. Over to Robinson for 3.
The same players who once found creative ways to lose are now leading statement wins. It's easy to say the season is still young, but 25 games in, this feels far less like a lucky hot streak and far more like a clear declaration that Detroit basketball is officially back. And if Detroit is back, it starts with the 2 franchise pillars making it happen: Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Their individual leaps and, more importantly, their connection have become the foundation of the Pistons' rise through the Eastern Conference. Cunningham has gone from earning his first All-NBA selection last season to being legitimately mentioned in MVP conversations this year, and it's completely deserved. He's averaging career highs across the board with 27 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds per game, while carrying Detroit's offense night after night. His impact isn't limited to scoring, either. Defensively, he's posting a career-high 1.5 steals per game while operating with a 33% usage rate, the highest of his career and 6th in the entire NBA. He controls pace, generates turnovers, rebounds, defends, and remains one of the league's most dangerous scorers and playmakers rolled into one. When all of that comes together in a single player, it's no surprise Cunningham sits firmly in the top 5 of the MVP ladder. The most underrated part of Cade's season has been what he does when the game matters most. In clutch situations, he's been one of the best players in the league. Detroit hasn't been blowing teams out. Most of their wins have been tight, high-pressure battles. In those moments, Cunningham consistently takes over on both ends of the floor. Only Giannis Antetokounmpo scores more fourth-quarter points per game, and Cade trails only Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in clutch points. His fingerprints are everywhere when games tighten up, which is a massive reason the Pistons are 12-4 in clutch situations this season. There is, however, one glaring flaw in his game right now: three-point shooting. Cunningham is hitting just 30% from deep on a career-high 6.2 attempts per game, ranking in the bottom tier of the league across most three-point shooting metrics. Even during a recent stretch where he averaged nearly 30 points per game, he shot just 27% from 3. And that's the scary part. Even with poor shooting from beyond the arc, he's still producing MVP-level numbers. If those shots start falling, defenses will be forced to stretch out, opening the floor even more and potentially unlocking an even higher level of production. Another Piston quietly terrifying the league is Jalen Duren. He's always been physically dominant, but this season he's fully leaned into that identity and become the ideal version of himself. Through 22 games, Duren is posting career highs with 18. 6 points, 11. 3 rebounds, 1. 8 assists, and 1 block per game while shooting 65% from the field and 75% from the free throw line in just 29 minutes per night. His efficiency doesn't come from flashy scoring but from mastering what he already does best. Creating gravity as a roll man, catching lobs for thunderous dunks, and punishing opponents with putbacks off offensive rebounds. Duren has also added new layers to his game, including taking opposing bigs off the dribble and mixing in mid-range shots. Much of that growth came over the summer, when head coach J.B. Bickerstaff worked with him one-on-one for 2 weeks, building trust that has clearly paid dividends on the court. Defensively, Duren has taken a major leap as well. He's quicker, more aware, and far more effective in pick-and-roll coverage. Paired with Isaiah Stewart, he's helping anchor a Pistons defense that now ranks among the top 5 in the NBA. At just 22 years old, Duren is no longer simply a lob threat. He's a weapon in his own right, and his best basketball is still ahead of him. What makes Detroit truly dangerous, though, isn't just the individual talent of Cunningham and Duren, but their chemistry. That connection began off the court. Last summer, Cunningham organized an off-the-grid trip to Colorado, where the two stayed in small cabins, trained together, hiked, fished, and pushed themselves mentally and physically. Later, they spent 2 weeks in Rome, immersing themselves in the culture and continuing to work on their games. That time together laid the foundation for what has become one of the most effective two-man games in the NBA. That chemistry shows up every night in the pick-and-roll. Cunningham ranks near the top of the league in points as a pick-and-roll ball handler, while Duren ranks among elite company as a roll man. Cunningham has assisted Duren more than any other teammate, and Duren has returned the favor more than anyone else on the roster. Their two-man net rating is the best among Pistons duos who've logged significant minutes together, and they've transformed Detroit's half-court offense in the process. While Cunningham and Duren grab most of the headlines, Detroit's success isn't just about its stars. Isaiah Stewart has been just as crucial, particularly on the defensive end. In a league increasingly focused on offense, Stewart is a reminder that defense still wins games. He protects the rim, switches onto the perimeter, and anchors one of the best defenses in the NBA. This season, he's averaging 2 blocks per game and leads the league in opponent field goal percentage at the rim. Offensively, he's added value as well, averaging over 10 points per game while shooting an impressive 41% from 3, allowing him to complement Duren without compromising spacing. If he stays healthy, Stewart belongs firmly in Defensive Player of the Year conversations. On the offensive side, Duncan Robinson provides something no one else on the roster can replicate: elite shooting gravity. When Detroit acquired Robinson, many questioned his contract, but through 23 games, he's proven his worth. He's the only shooter defenses consistently fear, and that respect opens the floor for everyone else. Robinson is averaging 12.5 points per game while shooting over 40% from 3 on high volume, leading the team in made threes. His constant off-ball movement stretches defenses and creates space for Cunningham, Duren, and the rest of the offense, making him far more valuable than his box score alone suggests. What truly separates this Pistons team, though, is its identity. In an era dominated by highlight offense, Detroit has built its foundation on defense, physicality, and effort. The Pistons rank near the top of the league in defensive rating, points allowed, paint scoring, rebounding, and offensive rebounding percentage. They swarm defensively, dominate the interior, and thrive in clutch moments, holding opponents to league-best shooting percentages late in close games. This isn't finesse basketball, it's relentless basketball. Much of that identity comes from head coach J.B. Bickerstaff. When he arrived amid chaos and uncertainty, his demanding no-nonsense approach stabilized the locker room and reshaped the franchise. Since taking over, Detroit has played with urgency and discipline, regardless of injuries or lineup changes. Last season, Bickerstaff finished second in Coach of the Year voting. This season, he's building an even stronger case as the Pistons continue to exceed every expectation. That doesn't mean everything is perfect. Three-point shooting remains a major weakness, ranking near the bottom of the league in both percentage and attempts. Cade is being heavily relied upon,